Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader and tonight we're going to focus on the Egyptian parliamentary elections that took place over the past couple of days for the Egyptian expatriates for the parliamentary elections for 2025. And for the upcoming couple of days, on Monday and Tuesday, the elections will be taking place on the candidates of the House of Representatives for the Egyptians residing inside Egypt. So it is another step towards development and democracy. But we'll be starting straight away with the main top story for today, and it comes through the activities of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, as the Egyptian Prime Minister launched the trial operation of the first phase of the country's first high-speed electric train. Madbouli also inspected the Egyptian first locally manufactured amphibious bus and reviewed the lineup of the electric buses, taxis and metro trains, all part of the state-led strategy to localize the transport manufacturing. The launch took place at the 6th Smart Transport, Infrastructure, Logistics and Industry Exhibition and Conference, the TransMe 2025, held under the patronage of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi at the Egypt International Exhibition Center. During the visit, the Prime Minister gave the official signal to begin trial runs of the German-made Desire train along the first section of the high-speed electric rail line, which runs from the Water Bridge to the Fayoum Bridge, reaching kilometer 143. The test, broadcast live, showcased a key segment of the 660-kilometer route connecting Ain al-Sukhna on the Red Sea to Alamein and Mersa Matruh on the Mediterranean. The project is being implemented by the National Authority for Tunnels in partnership with the consortium led by Siemens Mobility, Orascom Construction and the Arab contractors. During the tour, Transport Minister Kamil al-Wazir described the project, which is said to be the 6th largest of its kind in the world, as a national achievement built by the Egyptian engineers and workers. He said that the high-speed system will connect industrial zones such as Hulwan, Burg Al Arab, 6th of October, New Minya and New Asyut, with the tourism destinations like Giza, Luxor, Aswan, Abu Simbel and the Red Sea resorts, as well as the new agricultural regions including the New Delta, Future of Egypt, Tushka and West Minya. It will also form logistical corridors linking the Red Sea to the Mediterranean, creating thousands of jobs. The network will span the country, linking industrial zones such as Hulwan, Burg Al Arab, 6th of October, the New Minya and the other places. The Siemens-built Velaro train, which will also be used on the high-speed line, was inspected during the event. The Velaro includes the 8 connected cars stretching 200 meters with a space for 479 passengers. It features Wi-Fi, power outlets, digital information screens and separate family and business class cabins, amphibious bus and local transport production. Prime Minister Madbouli also inspected the bus, which will be locally produced to serve the tourism routes combining land and water. Other locally manufactured bus and electric taxis were showcased by Hassan El-Lithi, chairman of the Superjet company, including models from Al-Nasr Automotive, MCV Egypt, MAN Castor and Volvo Egypt. At the ACTA Company Pavilion, officials displayed the electric buses and taxis, including a bus with 60% local content and a Yutong bus with 50% local content, alongside the GM4 and Donglong electric taxis operating in the new capital. Madbouli also viewed the traffic education model city designed by the Ministry of Transport to teach children safe road practices, and later inspected the first of 55 new metro trains for the Cairo Metro Line 1, equipped with the high-capacity air conditioning, safety cameras, LCD information screens, and wheelchair-accessible spaces, enhancing passenger comfort and accessibility. The Prime Minister also toured the Egyptian-built tourist and intercity coaches, BRT buses, minibuses linking the monorail and the LRT station, refurbished Spanish sleeper and club train carriages, concrete sleepers and track switches produced locally, and marine launches deployed in national ports. He also met representatives of the international firms including Alstom, AVEC, Siemens, Orascom, NEREC, who reaffirmed the plans to expand the local production capacity and integrate the advanced technologies into the Egyptian transport networks. The integrated transport industry and investment was also focused upon as the officials at the National Authority for Tunnels, the Egyptian National Railways, and Alexandria Port Authority presented the investment opportunities, highlighting how expanding transport infrastructure enhances the connectivity, attracts the investment, creates employment, and strengthens the Egyptian competitiveness across the Arab and African markets. Madbouli stated that the advancements demonstrated at the Transmeet 2025 reflect Egypt's determination to build a sustainable, smart, and locally powered transport system, positioning the country as a regional hub for the advanced mobility and the industrial development. The exhibition features 500 companies from 30 countries and provides a platform for governments, investors, and technology leaders to showcase the innovations in the intelligent transport, infrastructure, and the industrial integration. And to be shedding more light on those achievements and the successes that we have witnessed today being inaugurated by Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, I'm honored to be having with me over the phone Engineer Sherin Naggar, the logistics and smart transportation expert. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate. Engineer Sherin Naggar, can you hear me? Yes, so as we did see, we had a lot of successes for today as Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli on Sunday had launched the trial operation of the first phase of the country's first high-speed electric train. Madbouli also inspected Egypt's first locally manufactured amphibious bus and reviewed the lineup of the electric buses, taxis and metro trains, all part of the state-led strategy to localize transport manufacturing. Engineer Sherin Naggar, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you, yes. Good evening to you.
Good evening to you. How did you see the achievements and the successes that we have seen, their implementation and their inauguration for today through the tour made and conducted by Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, and more specifically the first high-speed electric train line?
Well, any addition to transport will extend civilization to deserted areas in Egypt or in any country in the world for that matter. I mean, this is a principle. If you have good transport, you get better expansion, you get better distribution of population and so on. And this is exactly what we have been lacking for quite a number of years. But now that is being very efficiently rectified, and definitely the train system, the rail system upgrade is giving a lot of potential for Egypt, both for passengers and for cargo as well. I mean, if you talk about the high-speed train linking between Sokhna or Safaga and El Alamein or Burj Al Arab or any of those places, you are definitely achieving something very crucial. The crucial thing is that there are plenty of new land corridors that are being implemented at the moment, like the One Belt, One Road, the southern bracket of the One Belt, One Road, which extends from the Pakistan across to the Arabian Peninsula and then across to Egypt, and then it goes off to Europe. Now, this is one track. You've got also the EMEC-E project, which actually also goes from India, from Mundra, into places in Sohar in Oman, and then across to Egypt, across the Red Sea to Egypt, and again off to Europe. At this moment in time, you need to know that Egypt is qualifying itself, is grooming itself very nicely to become a new tiger, as an economic tiger that was similarly described to the Far East entities, people like Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Korea. All these countries in the 70s, they were pretty much deprived, they were pretty much behind. And when the European market started to become saturated and they needed a more cost-efficient manufacturing site to make their product, to produce their goods, they started opting for those. But then now we have the transport, which is very long distance between Far East and Europe, and all the interruptions they're getting from people like the Houthis and the various disruptions here and there. Has made it more urgent for the Europeans to bring their industry as close as possible to their homeland or to their market. And this is where Egypt comes in very conveniently. First of all, you have the Suez Canal, which is a mega service center, where you have ships carrying 25,000 containers, coming in and dropping their cargoes into the various industrial hubs alongside the Suez Canal Economic Zone, and where the Suez Canal Economic Zone will arrange for, or through its various industrial parks, will start manufacturing and compiling these commodities together and these products together, and finished products will be then taken over to the market in Europe. Now, without a very efficient and a very effective land transportation network, this can never be achieved. And you have seen in the past, before we started advertising that we have now rebuilt roads, we have rebuilt rail networks, we have new trains, we have everything is becoming really getting a major facelift. Now, without that, none of the participants who are actually contracting in the Suez Canal Economic Zone, they would simply not come. You must be sure that you have an effective and an efficient transport network to cater for such industries and to cater for such transit operations. One final thing I'd like to comment on.
I would like to ask about the statements made by the Minister of Transport and Industry, Kamil El-Wazir, because he was today alongside Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, and he stated the importance of those achievements, of those projects in the field of transportation and in the field of industry as well. You've mentioned that those transportation linkage achievements and projects will be positively affecting the future of industry, but it also be affecting the future of tourism positively, as we did see in the past week the inauguration of the GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum. How do you see the importance of those transportation projects affecting positively both of them, industry and tourism, for the future?
Well, for industry, it is very obvious that in order to move components from one industrial park to another, or move finished products from one country to another, or in and out of ports, be it the Suez Canal Economic Zone or other places like the Golden Triangle, or even places like Argoub and in the extreme west, you must have an efficient rail network. And that now is becoming very much on stream, and it's becoming very effective. When it comes to transport for passengers, you know, there are several categories of passengers. You get the passengers that are the ragtag passenger, who wants to pay half a penny in order to get from A to B, and you get the rich passenger who wants to rent a limousine and go. So you got and between, of course, there's plenty of varieties. If Even if these passengers, these tourists do not give you too much money, they do not spend too much money as individuals, but as a volume, you will definitely generate a lot of cash, a lot of foreign cash. And the beautiful thing about tourism of this kind is that it is a direct benefit. I mean, if you are a bazaar owner, for example, and a tourist comes in, he buys from you directly and he pays you directly. You don't have to go through banks or have to go through government in order to reflect what money he has paid you. No, it comes directly into your pocket. And that's a direct benefit to the market, rather than the industrial project that we see here. These, of course, are indirect because, as far as the common, as the Egyptians are concerned, this is indirect. So the profits there are reflected into health or care or schools or any of the budget requirements for the government. So both, yes, definitely. We need urgently. We need even more of that. The fact that they are being manufactured locally also makes it a lot easier, because then it will boost our inland operations. It will boost our inland production in order to be able, instead of producing 20% components, maybe next year we'll be producing 30%, we'll be producing 40%. And it will only be more and more labor working on the various sections of the manufacture, and more and more labor producing components to manufacture and assemble units like this. Most important of all this is maintenance. Maintenance is a very, very, very important item, because if you don't maintain these things, if you don't keep them up to standard, up to safety standard, up to technical standard, then you will find that you are investing millions and billions in manufacturers and in railroads and in electrical cars and in roads and in tracks, and then suddenly, without maintenance, the whole thing will collapse, and then you will end back to square one where we were 30 years ago.
Yes, and hopefully this will not be happening. Maintenance should be applied for the future. Engineer Sherin Naggar, the logistics and smart transportation expert. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on Nile TV International and the Daily Debate.
Thank you very much for having me.
Anytime. Moving on, and still with the activities of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, as Egypt signed 55 new cooperation agreements with the local and the international companies in the outsourcing and digital services sector during the Egypt Global Outsourcing Summit 2025, which opened on Sunday. The signing took place in the presence of Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and the Minister of Communications and Information Technology, Amr Talat. Lubna Yahya, our correspondent, was there and filed in the following report. Stay tuned.
From the heart of Cairo, Egypt takes another confident step towards cementing its position as a global hub for technology and business services. The Global Offshoring Summit 2025 brings together leaders from more than 50 international companies, investors and experts in digital transformation, all gathered under one roof to explore the future of outsourcing and innovation. The event was inaugurated in the presence of Egypt's Prime Minister, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, reflecting the government's strong commitment to promoting the digital economy and attracting global investment. Organized by the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, the summit highlights Egypt's growing role as a destination for business process outsourcing, IT services, and global delivery centers. For 2 days, delegates will discuss how Egypt's multilingual workforce, strategic location, and competitive edge are driving its rise as one of the world's most promising offshoring destinations. Central to this vision is the ministry's investment in human capital. Having expanded its training programs from a few thousand participants to hundreds of thousands annually, the ministry is focused on preparing a new generation ready to power Egypt's digital economy. We spoke with the minister about how this effort connects to the goals of the summit.
As you've rightfully mentioned, the prime impetus and incentive for any company to consider a country as a destination for offshoring is the skills. And the abundance of various sets of skills that would suffice the demands created by the companies offshoring out of Egypt and in turn their clients as well.
The summit also witnessed the signing of more than 50 new agreements between Egyptian and international technology firms, paving the way for new investments, innovation partnerships, and the expansion of digital exports. As the Global Offshoring Summit 2025 concludes, Egypt reaffirms its place on the global technology map, a nation combining talent, vision, and opportunity, ready to lead the digital future from Cairo to the world. From the Global Offshore Summit of 2025 here in Cairo, where global leaders are seeing Egypt as the growing role in the outsourcing and tech industry. This is Lubna Yahya reporting for Nile TV International.